And now an updated version of the preseason primer for games of the first weekend of the NFL preseason 2015, brought to you by OffshoreInsiders.com, the famed sports betting podcast, brought to you by OffshoreInsiders.com. For Thursday's action, Joe Duffy's Picks, the NFL specialist, has a Wise Guy side and a major play total. Wise Guy plays from Joe Duffy's Picks, widely accepted strongest bet in the handicapping universe. Joe Duffy's Picks at OffshoreInsiders.com, www.offshoreinsiders.com, the NFL specialist. Now some news and notes for Thursday's games. The Saints and the Ravens. Ravens starters will play very little, but the rookies and backups will get plenty of chances to shine for Baltimore. The Jets and the Lions. Lions rebuild offensive line. Of course, Jets' Geno Smith is out after being sucker punched. He was actually having a good camp and was slated to start in this game, but instead Ryan Fitzpatrick, who did play for Chan Gailey in Buffalo, is expected to take over as the starter. Rookie Bryce Petty is also going to get some playing time. Redskins and the Browns. Brown starters Josh McCown will play about a quarter. McCown, the quarterback, of course. Johnny Manziel will also play. Connor Shaw, number 3 quarterback, is throwing downfield much better this preseason. For the Redskins, Robert Griffin III will play about a quarter with all the offensive starters, as will the defensive starters for Washington. And a 4th-round draft pick, Jamison Crowder, had been impressive at wide receiver, but will not play. For the Cowboys and the Chargers, Pokes are likely to have Gus Johnson at running back, starting there very thin by injuries. At running back, John Randall and Darren McFadden are out. Des Bryant is also out for Dallas. Packers and the Patriots. Hey, that's a little bit of a pickle to say. Packers, Patriots. Packers may play everyone who travels. Jimmy Garoppolo is going to start with Ryan Lindley serving as the primary backup for New England. They're expected to be without starting tackles Nate Soldier and Sebastian Vollmer, as well as starting center Brian Stork. Meanwhile, looks like that they could be starting a pair of rookies at the starting guards. Dolphins and the Bears. Bears starters on offense and defense will only see 12 to 15 snaps, says OffshoreInsiders.com. Chicago's expected to go more smash mouth this year. Miami starters expected to play a full quarter, but at the most, expect some starters such as guard Dallas Thomas, right guard Billy Turner, and perhaps even kicker Caleb Sturgis, though, will get extended looks. Falcons and the Titans for Friday. Both first-round quarterback Marcus Mariota and second-round receiver Dorial Green-Beckham are having great camps so far, and they will start, and they'll probably get a little bit of a connection. Now, those people who that will probably get plenty of time to build up a connection is what we're trying to say. For those people who believe in first-year head coaches, Dan Quinn, first time ever coaching as a head coach in the NFL, and he'll be coaching at home for Atlanta. Steelers and the Jaguars. Pittsburgh has a game under their belt. All healthy starters will go. As for the quarterbacks, Mike Tomlin said that Ben Roethlisberger is going to get 10 to 12 snaps. Landry Jones will play. They got a ton of playing time in the first game, although didn't play all that well. However, they certainly did not give up on him. Everyone is set at camp. Taylor Murphy will get some time, and Taj Boyd will get some mop-up duty as the number 4 quarterback. Panthers and the Bills. Bills quarterback rotation, Matt Castle, Tyrod Taylor, and then E.J. Manuel continues to drop on the depth chart. Remember, he was at one time their starting quarterback. Giants and the Bengals. Bengals quarterback A.J. McCarron is questionable to doubtful. He's battling for the number 2 spot with Josh Johnson. So it looks like Johnson and 4th-string quarterback Keith Wenning will play after Andy Dalton plays a series or 2. Cincinnati has been sloppy on offense in practice. These teams did scrimmage together, and the consensus were both defenses are ahead of their respective offenses. Eli Manning in the first unit for the Giants will not play that long, as Ryan Nassib and 3rd-stringer Ricky Stanzi will get a lot of playing time. Giants, though, are more comfortable, say reports, under offensive coordinator Ben McAdoo. Remember, they struggled big time last preseason, struggled early in the regular season, but got a little bit better, and the up-tempo style is expected to really fit Nassib. Rams and the Raiders. Rams will give a lot of time to the bottom of the roster in the second half, especially on special teams. Interesting to notice, many teams are known to go for it on fourth down a lot more in the preseason, but Rams want to see how their players perform on special teams, so perhaps they won't be one of those teams. Rams starting quarterback Nick Foles is expected to play a couple series, but will be very vanilla. Raiders head coach Jack Del Rio, of course, a defensive guy and very aggressive on defense. Also, the often injured Foles, who last year he was banged up, will have 3 new starters on the offensive line. Young offensive line will play 3 or 4 series in the second half. Oakland wide receiver number 4 pick overall, Amani Cooper, has lived up to the hype in practice. We will see what he does in the game itself. The Rams' defense, by the way, is considered among the deepest in the league. Broncos and Seahawks, Peyton Manning will be among several veterans going to sit out for Denver. Running back C.J. Anderson and the young offensive lineman will play 10 to 12 plays together. Saturday for the Buccaneers and the Vikings. Vikings played in the Hall of Fame game, and Adrian Peterson, of course, not expected to get any carries. Does look like Vikings quarterback Teddy Bridgewater will likely double the 10 snaps he got in the opening game. Chiefs and the Cardinals, Jeremy Maclin and Albert Wilson, both starters for wide receiver, are questionable. This leaves Kansas City very, very, very thin at that position. Andy Reid said the second team will play the second quarter and a half, and then the third team will take over the final 1.5 quarters. So they're only going to go 3 units deep. Number 3 quarterback Tyler Bray is out. 49ers and the Texans, big quarterback battle there. A lot of people think this is a big game for Ryan Mallett, especially battling Brian Horner and Tom Savage. They're all going to play. Now, it doesn't matter who starts, says head coach O'Brien. Arian Foster, though, is out, and he's going to be out for a while. They're going to have to find some running backs to take over his position. Remember, OffshoreInsiders.com is the place to go for all the premium picks and late-breaking intel. www.offshoreinsiders.com. Subscribe to us on Twitter. Now, we don't want to confuse you. Yes, the website is Offshore Insiders with an S at the end.com. But Twitter, they limit us in characters. It's actually at Offshore Insider. But follow us on Twitter for late-breaking intel.